Alright, hello guys, this is Alan recording another comprehensive Magic the Gathering Arena Draft video. Haven't uploaded too much Ikoria, Lair Behemoths, drafts, and Core Set 21 is coming up soon at the end of this month. I do have enough gold to do a bot draft, so I think I'm gonna get started with that. Overall, this is after the companion nerf has happened. Therefore, companions are a little bit worse now. I mean, they're a lot much worse. What am I talking about? Since you do have to pay the 3 mana sorcery speed tax in order to put in your hand. So, companions are basically not that exciting other than maybe like Jairuda. Sometimes maybe Lutri can be fine, but they've definitely gone down in value after the whole nerf. There's still a dreaded card in this set called the Zenith Flare, which is basically the mythic uncommon. That card is literally close to like Vivian's Planeswalker, since it's literally almost very impossible to interact with, and it can turn an okay red-white cycling deck into a S-tier level unbeatable deck. Um, Overall, if this wasn't for Zenith Flare in this set, I think this would have been a very fun format with a lot of variety and choices and options. But due to the fact that Zenith Flare is in this set, it just ruins this entire format and makes it completely unfun to play. But overall, I still have to upload a video. If I do end up in the red-white cycling deck, fine. If I don't, that's also fine. There are still some decent archetypes that I can draft. And hopefully we don't run into too many red-white cycling, and we can pick up some games with via skill rather than just drafting a broken card that just requires a bunch of 1 mana, 2 mana cyclers in your deck. Alright, so anyways, let's, without further ado, let's get started, and we should have enough time to explain everything since it's bot draft. So, right, pack 1, pick 1. Well, yeah, this card is busted. I guess we take it here to win the draft. What other good cards is there? That if this wasn't a pack, it would be close between Parcel Beast and Fronland Feldar. Green-white is not a great combination in this set. You want to typically avoid the allied colors like green-white, and but it is still a very good splash card, and it's just nice removal spell and creature in one. Parcel Beast is a nice value engine. That would have been great if Zenith Flare wasn't in this pack, and it would probably be my second choice, followed up by Frontline Feldar, and Moloch would be a distant third as a good card in the cycling deck. The commons, there's Pacifism and Capture Sphere, but we're not going to take it over Zenith Flare. This card is busted. It's close to, again, a Mythic Planeswalker, and yeah, I guess if we want to win the draft, we just force cycling with Zenith Flare. And red-white cycling would have been fine without this card, but now this card, it just turns everything into a broken, pointless draft. So let's draft a pointless cycling deck. Here, the best card in this pack is Ram Through, but we're not going to take it over like a Cycler. I think I'll take the 1 mana Cycler here. I wouldn't mind like a Lava Serpent later. And this is definitely a good 2 mana cycling card you want in your cycling deck, since you can cast as a Curve Topper and cycle for 2 mana, but 1 mana cyclers are more important in the cycling deck, so we'll take a Starling Development. Alright, best card in this pack is Wingspan Mentor. Well, it seems like blue is open and the bots don't care, but we can take an easy Memory Leak for 1 mana. Just another decent 1 mana cycler, and Cavern Whisperers are also a pretty solid common in this set too, but we'll take a Memory Leak. Now we can take a Snare Tactician. This card is definitely one of the commons that you want in the cycling deck. I think this card should have been an uncommon, to be honest. Since it's just so powerful. Cycling is easy to draft in this set. Most of the payoffs are common. It can be a good deck even without Zenith Flare, just with like a bunch of Snare Tacticians and Marmosets, and maybe like a couple Pacifisms. It's already really powerful. Yeah, so it's going to be a pick here. Best card in this pack is Trumping Gnar. So if we stuck with the blue path and we didn't take the Zenith Flare, we would have had a pretty decent start to a blue-green Mutate deck. But I'm not going to pass it up over as Snare Tactician. Other good commons include like Farfinder, Migratory Greathorn, but Snare Tactician it is. Snare Tactician, that's what they call it. I'm going to take a Draft Stinger here. It's an easy one-mana cycler. It's a decent 2-drop in these cycling decks since the pings do add up every single time you cycle. So it's a clear pick. Nothing here. This pack is a whiff. There's a chance we might need some beef at the top end, I guess, and we can take like a Day Squad Marshal. I don't think we're going to move out cycling. I don't think any of our color combinations can give us potential to move into other options. I mean, I guess there's a chance we end up in blue-red spells. A very low chance, but I guess I can take a Thieving Otter as a good mutate target. Or I could just hate draft it if I was in a real pod, so we'll take a Thieving Otter. Good one-mana cycler, Frostfell Ambush, nothing much. And our Snare Tactician, excellent. So yeah, I guess this is just a deck. This draft is just going to be a brainless tutorial for the red-white cycling deck. Basically, essentially, once you pick up like a Zenith Flare, you take your payoffs like Snare Tacticians, Prickly Marmosets, Reptilian Reflections, Flourishing Foxes, Drand of Stingers, etc. And you just pick up a bunch of one-mana cyclers as much as you can. Sometimes you do pick up two-mana cyclers, and it's definitely fine, but you don't want too many of them since they do get kind of clunky. But all the Will Hunter can be okay as like a combat shrink, either offensively or defensively. It's a card I don't really like since like you can get blown out easily and get 2-for-1, and 2 mana is a lot for essentially a combat trick. Usually you want combat tricks to be like at least 1 mana or so. But you can still cycle it for 2 mana, so I'll take it here. Nothing here. If I was, I guess, a 2-mana cycler in case we don't have any cycling. Shred Sails is a decent 2-mana cycler in these types of decks. Wolverine also, I actually don't mind in these cycling decks since you're looking to cycle a bunch of instances and sorceries. And that help fuels the Spell Eater Wolverine, so I don't mind taking it here. Shred Sails is one of those 2-mana cyclers I also don't mind. Sometimes it can be a nice removal spell for a flyer that's in the way. But maybe Spell Eater Wolverine has a little bit more upside. We just draft a bunch of 1-mana instances and sorceries that we can cycle, so it just should get fielded pretty easily in this deck. So don't mind the Spell Eater Wolverine in case I don't pick up enough payoffs. Sometimes you play a Pyroceratops, but I don't like it outside of the blue-red spells deck. Right, so we got a good start to draft, a broken mythic uncommon. We're basically going to make this incredibly broken. Decent number of 1-mana cyclers. It's a good start to draft, some payoffs. So I think we're going to get there pretty easily. And now what? Rodan is really good, but that's for blue-red spells. I would never imagine mutating this in a red-white cycling deck. Otherwise, what else is there for us? Not really much. There's another Will the All Hunter. I could just take a Shred Sails now as a 2-mana cycler. Pack 1, pick 1. It would probably just be Rodan here. I don't think we're mutating. We have like 3 humans here, a non-human, and either way, if we mutate, what is this gonna get back? I don't know, like an Will the All Hunter, and you have to cast the card again. You can't cycle it, so that's a limitation. I think we just take a Shred Sails, as bad as it seems. In a real pod, maybe I hate draft a Rodan. 5/1 can be fine, but I haven't been too impressed by it in a red-white cycling deck. It goes better in like black-white humans. Here, easy Raking Claws. Wow, this pack is bad. Grim Dancer is the best card in this pack by far, but Raking Claws is good. How good is a Firefinder? We're not really looking to fix our mana red-white cycling deck. We don't really care. There's a chance we could open, like, I don't know, the Skycat Sovereign we can splash. But I highly doubt it. Could just take another 1-mana cycler. Sanctuary Smasher can be fine in these cycling decks too, but 3 mana is a lot to cycle. Usually you prefer the Lava Serpents that you can cycle for 2 mana and make a 6/6. Now I'm just going to take an easy 1-mana cycler here to just start going off. I guess I can take a Firefinder in case we need to splash. I don't really value 2-mana cyclers too highly. If there's a 1-mana cycler, I would take in this pack, but we'll take a Firefinder in case we're splashing. There's a chance we could end up splashing like black or something. Lord Dracus, yeah, we're not really mutating again. Just could take a a charge here as a 2-mana cycler, and maybe like a finisher in the late game if we manage to pick up enough cards. And I do like rooting Moloch in these cycling decks. It's not only 2-mana cycler, but it's a decent 5-drop that you can cast, and it can also bring back a cycling card. I think with the amount of 1-mana cyclers here, we don't have to take the Go for Blood too highly, and we do need playables to help curve out. So I don't mind a rooting Moloch here. It's pretty decent if you're in a cycling deck. So let's take the rooting Moloch, and hopefully we can pick up Go for Blood's Lair because they go well for Molochs. Nothing here. No 2-mana cyclers. Hate draft this Dorat. I highly doubt we're playing Lord Dracus in this type of deck, but I'll hate draft this Sprite Dragon. Sure. Take another Raking Claws as a 2-mana cycler. That you also don't mind playing. Will of the All Hunter. Sure. Another 2-mana cycling combat trick. Alright, and we did wield a Sanctuary Smasher. I might play it if we don't have enough curve toppers. It is kind of clunky, but sometimes just casting this for 6 is still a fine card, like a 6-mana 6/4 first striker is a threat. But it does get answered from like Divine Arrow and a lot of removal spells in this set, so I don't particularly value it too highly. Alright, so yeah, this pack wasn't that great for us. We didn't pick up too many payoffs, but we did pick up a Rooting Moloch, which is the best card that we picked up. Maybe we could use like a Prickly Marmoset or some pacifisms. But overall, this Zenith, if we pick up a second Zenith Flare, this deck is basically game over. Maybe play second Cathartic Reunion, we never know. Here, well, this pack also sucks, but I guess there's a Go for Blood as a good 1-mana cycler. Pack 1, pick 1, it would actually be the Great Horn versus Space Godzilla. Probably take the Great Horn, but the Go for Blood is pretty solid here. And, I guess I take a Pacifism now. I think I need to take the Pacifism. There's also the Imposing Vantasaur, which I don't hate, as a 1-mana cycler, and also a decent 6-drop. Pacifism, we could just still take it here. Like, we do have Snare Attactions as kind of like our removal, I guess. In terms of 1-mana cyclers, 1, 2, 3, 4. Could use a little bit more 1-mana cyclers, to be honest. I guess Dram Stinger counts, but I feel like I want to cast it more often than not. I think we had to take the Pacifism. Like, we are lacking removal. Sure, we can drop the Snare Tacticians and start tapping stuff down, but I think we need like at least 1 Pacifism in this deck to be functional. Otherwise, Imposing Vantasaur can be a decent 1-mana cycler, and also a 6-drop we can cast. But I'll take a Pacifism. I think it's much more important. Rock Slide. I don't hate a Rock Slide. Otherwise, there's nothing else in this pack. Not the best in red-white cycling, since you rather prefer the Pacifisms for 2 mana, but it can be justifiable just as a removal spell. Sometimes you get to 4 lands, and it does help. Easy Boon. Nice 1-mana cycler. Nothing else here. Blitz is pretty good in these types of decks. I mean, we do have a lot of instances and sorceries that we can cycle to help fuel it up, and it can deal a bunch of damage, so I don't hate it. Otherwise, Divine Arrow can be fine, but not a big fan of Divine Arrow. It can be kind of weird sometimes if they don't block. But I guess in a deck where you're looking to tap a deck where the opponent's looking to race, Divine Arrow can be good, but with all these 1-mana cyclers as instances and sorceries, there's no doubt Blitz will be a good card in this deck. It might even be better than Divine Arrow, since it can take out something even larger than necessary, so we'll take it here. I guess we can take a 2-mana cycler. Maybe we'll take a Cloud Pierce. I think we have enough 2-mana cyclers. I could take another one. Why not? I highly doubt we're playing Cloud Piercer and a Draft Healer versus Marmoset. I think we might have to take the Marmoset here. We already have a Lava Serpent that can cover the top end for cycling. I think Marmoset is just too good to pass up in these type of decks. I prefer it over Spell Eater Wolverine. We already have a Blitz. We have Pacifism and a Blitz as removal. Maybe Zenith Flare, Snare Tactician can tap stuff down. I think I just want another good 3-drop here that's really good in the cycling deck. And we'll take the Marmoset. Highly doubt we're playing the Farfinder, so I think I'm cutting it now. Happy to see a late Lava Serpent. That's really nice and generous of the bots, giving me a Lava Serpent now, and I'm definitely playing it. Shred Sails, maybe that can replace another 2-mana cycle. I don't really want to play Evolving Wilds. Like, we want to have as many lands as we can. This is going to be like a very low land count deck, maybe up to 12 or 11 for the cycling. So I don't want to play too many Evolving Wilds. It also, I know it also thins out the deck, but it's also like one less of a land. I think we just need as many lands as possible in these types of decks, so I'm going to take a Shred Sails. Nothing much. Maybe take a Barrier Breach as a cycler. Don't think we're playing triple Cathartic Reunion. You never know. None of these matter. Okay, so given the lack of playables, I think I might end up playing this Lava Serpent at the top end. We'll see. I mean, not the Lava Serpent, the Sanctuary Smasher along with the Lava Serpent. Again, you can cycle the Sanctuary Smasher for 3 mana, and I think it's justifiable in this type of deck. Here, I guess we can just cut 4 lands, and we can even just call it a day, to be honest. Don't think we're splashing for anything, so we can cut all these swamps. Maybe we can even go down to 13 lands. Like, we do need to kind of hit our 6s sometimes. In terms of 1-mana cyclers, that's 1, 2, 3. And usually the general rule for the 1-mana cyclers is for every 3 1-mana cyclers you cut a land. So I guess now we're at 16 lands. 17, 15. I guess maybe the 2-mana cyclers count. Let's just make 14, and then guess like 13 now. Like, yeah, it seems fine. We can just be this weird 13 land cycling deck, and I could maybe even cut the Cathartic Reunion for another 2-mana cycler like this Hampering Snare. Cathartic Reunion can be fine at times. It does get awfully clunky, not gonna lie. Might actually want the Farfinder, as weird as it seems. Like, it can help us fetch our land, but we're not really mutating or anything. As long as we get to turn land 3, we're good. Like, we can still cycle these off. Rooting Moloch can maybe recur these later. So maybe I just cut the Reunion. Sure, and then maybe we can play, I don't know, like, I mean, a Reunion can also be fine to discard lands if we get too flooded. I do sometimes want to cast these 6-drops, but maybe we're cycling so much in this deck that we don't really care. But I don't really want to discard anything else. Let's say I do have a Cathartic Reunion, the opening hand. It's going to be awkward. I don't really want to discard any of these cards. So I'll cut it here, maybe just throw in a 2-mana cycler, and just call it a day pretty much. I'd rather have a 2-mana cycling sorcery since it helps fuel our Spell Eater Wolverine Blitz. Okay, let's try this deck out. Basically, we're just going to cycle our way to victory. Slightly favoring red, so I think it's fine going 7-6 here. Can't go down a plane since we do need to cast our Snare Tacticians. Yeah, I think we're just, how many cyclers? 2, this is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, this should be enough to get there. So, yeah, 15 land cycling deck. I think it's pretty busted. So let me show you the power of this dumb, stupid deck. It should be able to get easy 7. And we might lose some games. You never know. We might not hit a land drop. We might be facing against another posing cycling deck. Yeah, there's a chance we could lose if we don't hit our land drops. But once you just cycle a million cards, ping the opponent a couple of times, deal a little bit of damage, we can just shoot them down with a single Zenith Flare and win the game. It's a pretty disgusting deck. Cycling is not all that fun in this set due to the fact of Zenith Flare. Like, cycling wouldn't be as amazing as it would without Zenith Flare. It'd still be a good deck, but with Zenith Flare it just turns it into a completely busted, stupid color combination. Okay, let's see. I guess the opponent is still loading the screen or something here. Right, we're on the draw. Land is good. I guess if we just cast our Draft Stinger and start cycling, we're good. So I think this is a decent keep. We're also on the draw, so we're more likely than not to get a land drop either way. Opponent goes down a card down to 6. He's playing green, so he's going to do some mutate or reanimation shenanigans. Sure, Brushwag. Brushwag is an overperformer. I do like this 1-drop a lot. It's a good mutate card. You can, and then like once you mutate it, you can pump it later. So it's a pretty good card. Okay, no Heartless Axe. I do want to drop this Draft Stinger down and start pinging the opponent and go off with it. Okay, so opponent's gonna stay back for the Almighty Brushwag. Alright, that's fine. I think I can just cycle a 2-mana Cycler this turn. I don't think I need to cast a 1-mana one. Just making sure that we use our mana efficiently. It's more important to cycle the 2-mana ones away, and then we can essentially just cycle a 1-mana Cycler here and start pinging the opponent. Opponent is pretty much going to look to race us this game. Now we can just cycle our 2-mana Cyclers, cycle away the Frostwell Ambush. Not blocking here because he's forced to pump. I could maybe trade off for Symbiote later, but this is fine. If he wants to pump, that's fine. He's going to use up his whole turn. Yeah, we'll just cycle a 2-mana Cycler. Why not? Spell Eater Wolverine's good. Yeah, let's just cycle this. I don't think I need to hold up anything for a combat trick. Raking Claws is a decent... Do I attack? That's the only question. Symbiote's a good trade target, but if he mutates onto this, it can be a bit of a problem. But I guess it can also hold back the 1/1 if he decides to mutate. And I can always get back with Rooting Moloch if I trade for it. But 2 damage is pretty good here. The Spell Eater Wolverine won't be able to attack past the Brushwag that can pump, however. So I'll keep it back. I think it might be important to trade off. I wouldn't mind trading off for his Essence Symbiote since he can gain life if he mutates onto this. Yeah, I'll trade off for it. I don't really want him to gain life. And if he wants to pump the Brushwag, that's also fine. The Rooting Moloch can basically get back to Draft Stinger for next turn, and we can play Draft Stinger into like Wolverine. Okay, he's gonna get back the Essence Symbiote. At least he didn't gain life, so I'm fine with that. But this 3/3 can pump itself pretty nicely. Here, I think we're just gonna... The Wolverine isn't bad, but it's gonna... If he pumps the Necropanther, then he's essentially just going to... He's essentially just going to trade. So I'm not going to block here. He can pump if he wants. That's going to hit me for 7. I can always just throw the Wolverine in front of it next turn. Oh well. Well, that's one of those cards I guess I can't beat. Okay then. Yeah, Nethroid is definitely gross. We're just going to cast our Stinger. Maybe attempt to trade off for the Spell Eater Wolverine. And we'll go from there. Yeah, Nethroid is a bomb. Could have cycled first maybe, to maybe hit something. But I'm fine trading off my Spell Eater Wolverine for this Nethroid. He is going to gain 5, but this card is definitely something I need to remove. He could have a fight spell, removal spell. So if he pumps, how much is this going to be? You only pump once. This is going to become a 6/6. So I do need to answer it though. Let's cycle first, see what happens. I mean, if he does have a Cycler, this is going to be pretty annoying. I can't take damage forever. I guess I can still take damage and next turn still block. I mean, if he has another land next turn, that's going to be a bit of an issue. And I guess my Sanctuary Smasher can still, I guess, essentially, he's going to trample over 4. Can still hold this Nethroid off. Obviously, he can just mutate and get them back. But it's a risk I'm willing to take here. He can get this back with Nethroid. Nethroid is so busted. So I guess we can just Zenith Flare and maybe kill this as a win con. I don't think we need to tap anything down this game. I think we're just going to cast our Sanctuary Smasher as a 6/4 since it's a good blocker for this 5/5 Death Toucher with First Strike. And it can hold off like other future cards. Guess I can still attack with a Snare Tactician. Okay, that's fine. I guess he can mutate now onto Nethroid to get his creature back, but I don't think I care. I guess he's just going to do it to gain life and get back to Brushwag. That's fine. I guess I can still keep the Sanctuary Smasher back. I mean, it's pretty gross if I can connect this with a Raking Claws. Hope he doesn't have removal spell. Otherwise, I'm forced to maybe double block and trade for the Nethroid. He's thinking of maybe mutating to get back to Brushwag, I think. I'm all for that. I mean, if you want to waste your Necropanther, go ahead. Alright, he's just gonna do this to gain build life, get back his, that's totally fine with me. Both of these creatures can hold everything back. We're gonna cast our Snare Tactician here. Question is, do I attack with a Sanctuary Smasher? If I do, what happens? Let's say he takes it. He can swing back for 5 and gain 5. I can Snare Tactician tap it down, but then he has a lot of power coming in. And this Raking Claws can help me actually double strike this Rooting Moloch, so I think we'll stay back for now. Actually, no, his Brushwag can pump itself a couple of times, I guess. I guess the Sanctuary Smasher can hold off the Nethroid, and the 4/4 can trade for the 4/4. Do I put my Rooting Moloch in front of this Brushwag? I think I do. I just want a little bit more 1-mana Cyclers. Okay, so he's just gonna go all out. Okay, so what do we do here? I think we just block like this. We can pump this once. Huh. I can also just double strike the Rooting Moloch, and what happens next turn, then I can attack for 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, but that's not lethal. I don't mind maybe going down to 1 here. I think we need to try something like this. Guess I'm going down to 1. Now, what do I double strike the Necropanther? He probably has something here like a Dire Tactics. Yeah, I probably have to double strike the Rooting Moloch now, just to save it then. That's unfortunate. He does take a lot of damage. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I guess he has a blocker, so... Now, I guess I can cast a Lava Serpent, trade for Nethroid, double block the Brushwag. I think that might have to be the game plan. I can also just cycle it and ping him and tap, but I think the Lava Serpent is just a card we need. And I think I had to keep everything back here just so I can hold off so this Brushwag doesn't kill us. Is there any reason to attack? I could just cycle the Raking Claws, but I think I'll cycle on their turn. Well, I guess that's game over. Yeah, this game sucks sometimes. Let me just cycle this Raking Claws. I might find maybe Zenith Flare off the top. Well, that's just game over. I'll be back. One moment. If I picked up Blitz or Thunder Raptor, I think I should have been fine. But with all the mutating, with Nethroid, that game was literally unwinnable. The only thing that I could have dealt with it was the Blitz, but I think we should have been in fine shape, and we could have won if it wasn't for Nethroid, but Nethroid just had to ruin the game. We have Snare Tactician on 3, a bunch of one-man cyclers. I think this is a fine keep, and I think I'm fine cycling my first card. Just need to start feeling our Zenith Flare, so we'll just pass here. And then we'll just cycle the Memory Leak. Hopefully get a white eventually to cast our Snare Tactician. Okay, white is good. I think we'll hide some info. We're just going to play a 2-mana cycler and pass. Keep up stretch sails in case. And this can be used against a flyer, so it's not actually that bad. Omniscience, okay. So opponent's going to start making 8/8s, but I guess our Snare Tacticians can start tapping them down. Snare Tactician. We can use Rooting Moloch to get back the Will of the All Hunter, but it's not that amazing. Could just cycle it next turn. I guess we can get back our Lava Serpent. Do I cycle first? Could have a Divine Arrow up. I do need to pressure him though, like, what else am I going to do? So I'm going to cycle this Lava Serpent because eventually we can get back the Rooting Moloch. Blitz is fine. I think we're going to move to attacks. Attack for 2. Divine Arrow could be pretty annoying. I guess I can use this trick. Fizzle is Divine Arrow, get in there for 4. Okay. Gotta wait till we get maybe our 6th land to hit the Rooting Moloch. I mean, I can always just cast on 5 and hopefully I end up cycling a land, because I do want to cast my Lava Serpent eventually. Guess we can cycle away our Shred Sails and blitz away the Porcuparrot. Do I use the blitz now? Probably don't need to. Just maybe wait for another turn. There's a chance he could play something bigger. Do I still take 3? Depends on what happens here. Like, you could try to mutate onto this. We'll see. Pyroceratops, that might actually be a better target for me to get rid of. Or I can just use Snare Tactician on 2 of his cards. We'll see. I think Blitz is fine here. Even if I don't think there's any 1-man instance. I guess there's Starling Development. That I guess no, that's 2 mana, but I'm fine using the Blitz on the this card here. Do we cast a Rooting Moloch? I don't think we do, because if we do, we aren't able to essentially cast our Lava Serpent, so I think we start cycling still. Guess he can just respond by pinging me, but that's fine. And he doesn't respond by pinging me, okay. Alright, I guess we can get in there for 2. Marmoset's good, and then we can cast our land. And opponent's still like... still going to take the opponent a long time to get to the Omniscience. But here, I don't mind cycling, maybe end of turn, and then casting the Rooting Moloch, ensuring that we can get a land drop for a Lava Serpent. Depends again what the opponent does. I can always just cycle on my turn again, I guess, and start and get in for a ton of damage with the Prickly Marmoset, so that's also a consideration. Serval, sure. I might just do that. Thieving Otter. Alright, this is interesting. Yeah, let's just cycle the Shred Sails. I don't know why the auto tapper is so dumb sometimes. Yeah, let's tap this. Let's tap the Serval. Cycle away the Boon. I don't know why the auto tapper does that. It's so bad. Let's tap the Porcupine. I don't really care. I'd rather have him trade off his Thieving Otter. Or I could just tap his Thieving Otter. Sure. Let's think here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can get the opponent down to 12 pretty low. I guess if I attack with both, I can still tap down the Otter on his turn, so let's try this. He's chumping, sure. Opponent's getting close to his Omnisci, so if he draws a couple of cards, he can make an 8/8, but I can just keep tapping it down, I guess. Eventually I want to cycle towards, while the opponent just likes these main servals, I guess I don't mind cycling on my turn, getting in for, essentially, I guess, 4 power first strike. Casting the Rooting Moloch. Okay, so I think we're going to start by cycling once. Yeah, we'll tap the Porcupine. It just has a lot more power, so if he double blocks against the Prickly Marmoset, it's going to be an issue. Pings me in the face. That's actually, he can't ping me at all. Okay, this isn't bad. I think I'll attack in with the Marmoset here. We'll see what happens. Now I think I'm gonna hard cast the Moloch just to. I guess I need to go to second main to do this. I could also just hard cast a Sanctuary Smasher. Yeah, let's just do that. I mean, you could have a counter spell, but I still think I'd go for it here. Then we can cast the Moloch later, and then if this dies, I can still get back with the Moloch, so that's also pretty good. $18 cards left. We still have Zenith in the deck. We have how many cyclers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we should be able to shoot them for 9, close to lethal. Opponent could just draw cards and ambush me at instant speed. So the question is, do I cycle here and go for it? Is there any card drawing at instant speed? That's the only question. Probably not. The opponent hasn't been doing much, so I think I'm fine cycling here. Yeah, let's just tap the Porcupine. I don't want to deal with it. Hopefully it doesn't ambush me with an 8/8. That would be pretty annoying. At least I have a Rock Slide that can maybe answer the 8/8 Serpent. Yeah, let's just move the attacks. I'm fine just attacking with both of these. Please don't ambush me. There's no card draw instant speed that can get him to 8, so so this is good. He's chumping, that implies he doesn't have anything. So we can get him for 4, and we can just Rumbling Rock Slide the 8/8 once he makes it. So I think I'm fine casting this on my second main, and then getting back the Lava Serpent to cast next turn. Omniseas is definitely scary if they have it on turn 2 and they're just constantly cycling and drawing cards. Alright, no Zenith Flare yet, but this deck is the one that's supposed to get to the Zenith Flare eventually. Do we go down a land to 12? 12 might be a little bit too greedy with all these 2-mana cyclers. I still think we stay keep here and just keep playing this. But in terms of creature count, we are 8 creatures. Okay, so that's fine. So let's keep it 13 lands, I think. Yeah, I mean, I guess here's a bunch of 2-mana cyclers. We're on the play. No creatures, though, so that might be a little bit iffy, but we're also just on the play. I want to go down land. We have all 3 of our colors. I think it's fine keeping. We can just cycle a bunch of 2-mana cyclers, our beginning phase, to just dig through the deck. And I do want to get rid of these 2-mana cyclers. Well, it's always a dread 1-drop, but we do have, I guess, a Rumbling Rock Slide. Hide some info. Maybe don't show my second color yet. Take 1 for now. It's not the end of the world. None of my creatures died to this mutating, so I'm not really concerned about this. I guess my Zenith Stinger or something, but now the Marmoset was a nice pickup here, so we can drop it down, and then we can start cycling and dealing damage against the opponent. Opponent's playing black-white. I guess there's a Patagia Tiger at 5 that we can shoot down with the Shredded Sails. Okay, don't think I care about Keensight Mentor. I think I'm fine just attacking. I could also just cycle away the Zenith Stinger, since, I mean, it's going to die to the Mamba if he mutates. Let's see what the opponent does here. Nothing. Okay, we'll just cycle this Raking Claws. Do I cycle away the Zenith Stinger? I think I do, since I don't really want to deal with the Mamba, and that can just mutate and kill me. So I think we're just going to get in there for 6 and try to hit our land drops. Don't have any removal for this except the Blitz, but I'm not going to use a Blitz on the 1/1. It's just not very efficient. That's fine. Take 1. Is the opponent planning to activate this? I don't think it's a smart choice, but I'll move the tax if he wants to try something here. Which one do I order first? I think I ordered a Keensight Mentor, and then before damage, let's start with the 1-mana cycler first. I mean, this is essentially 6 power of first strike that's coming at him. Guess I still cycle a 1-mana cycler in case he has a pump trick. And we're fortunate enough to hit a land, we can cycle a 2-mana cycler. Okay, we'll just let him use his Keensight Mentor and get himself 2 for 1 if he wants to. Alright, that's a good one. There's nothing much I can do about that. We'll just allow it to happen. Flies 1 was a really nice trick. Didn't really expect it. I mean, other than that, what do? I can't. I have to deal with this, so I'm just gonna say pass. If he has a flyer, I can just essentially just shoot down with shred sails. Lockdown. Okay, so he's gonna have a 2/2. Guess I killed a mentor this turn. This deals with artifacts. Guess I'll cycle away a hampering snare if he attacks this turn. Yeah, we'll cycle this away. Put him on a slow clock by rumbling rock sliding this 2/5. Cycle 1-mana cycler end of turn. Taking 2 per turn is not the end of the world. I do have like lava serpents and some big drops in my deck, so I'm not really concerned. Also, Zenith Flare can maybe end the game once I cycle a million times. Snare Tactician looks good. Okay, we'll cast him. We have a 2-mana cycler to cycle away to tap stuff down, so we'll say go. Do I block if he attacks? I mean, that could imply something. We'll see. I guess I can still block the Mamba. If he has a trick, I can use Raking Claws. I think I need to kill the Mamba first. Guess he has like a Lurking Deadeye. Okay, Wheel doesn't resolve and do anything. I'm just going to try to let this resolve, and then I'm going to use the Raking Claws on the stack. Or, I guess, Coordinate Charge, since I'm not looking to go wide, and tap down the Deadeye. Lava Serpent looks good. I think I'm just going to attack with it. And I can essentially just Raking Claws and get there if the opponent isn't careful. I can even use Raking Claws or Will of the All Hunter on defense against this Lurking Deadeye next turn. But he has a Blade Banish. I guess we're dead next turn if we don't top deck a creature. Zenith Flare. Okay, I guess that's just game over. So the power of Zenith Flare is pretty insane. Let's just cycle 1-mana cycler, play land, shoot the opponent for a magical 9 on the face, and yeah, good games. Yeah, there you go. Just top deck Zenith Flare, cycle through your deck, and essentially just steal a game. The card is incredibly busted and stupid. There's a chance that Cathartic Reunion is good in this deck. Like, sometimes you do want to discard your cycling cards, I don't know. Since it might take too long to cycle away. I'm thinking of considering throwing in a Cathartic Reunion in this deck. I think we're still going 13 lands, because sometimes we want to hard cast our Lava Serpent or the Sanctuary Smasher, so I think it's fine maybe, I don't know, dropping a 2-mana cycler that we don't need. Something that's primarily not in our colors. Maybe I guess like a Hampering Snare can maybe go. And we can still toss in the Cathartic Reunion. Because it still draws me 3 cards. I do want to dig to find my Zenith Flare. Cycling might not be fast enough since sometimes cycling for 2 mana is quite expensive. So maybe like Cathartic Reunion sometimes can just help me dig deeper. And there's a chance I could still end up flooding in this type of deck as well. So that's also a consideration. Definitely don't want to run 2 Cathartic Reunions. I think it gets too clunky. But having 1 can be fine. Even just throwing away expensive cyclers in the late game to help dig towards Zenith Flare is important. And again, to prevent floods, so I like having maybe 1 Cathartic Reunion. Okay, we have Zenith Flare opening hand. I mean, in a bunch of lands, we're on the draw. No cyclers. Do I still keep this? I mean, it has Zenith Flare, Blitz. I think I risk it, and Blitz can be used as a removal spell. No Dread 1 mana plays, okay. Might have to cycle this Sanctuary Smasher on 3. Who knows? So hopefully I start picking up my cyclers. I do need to fuel up this Blitz to play defense. Trying to healer, sure. Okay. I think I just pass here. Don't need to cycle yet. Maybe just cycle end of turn. Opponent's also maybe playing the cycling deck. Okay, Heat Bonder is annoying. We'll just cycle this Go for Blood. Cathartic Reunion. I guess this is a good turn to use Cathartic Reunion. Do I want to discard lands though? I don't mind discarding the Sanctuary Smasher. Since it is a cycler. Or I could just cycle it. Huh, this is interesting. Think I Cathartic Reunion here. I might even just discard the lands, as crazy as it seems. I'll risk the lands. I mean, this is only just a video, right? Okay, we picked a bunch of 2-mana cyclers. We'll be taking a bit of a beating, but we should be okay in stabilizing eventually. Again, need to deal with this Heat Bonder. We do have these 6 drops to cycle. Cycle the Raking Claws. Say go. Opponent's at least using a Dark Bargain in his deck, so it's not the typical cycling deck. But we are taking a beating here. Snare Tactician can maybe hold off next turn. Might cycle away the Lava Serpent, but it's also close to casting it, so I might just keep it up. Okay. Could just blitz it now. I'll blitz it now, so he doesn't have any waste. And it has menace, so I think it's a bigger target than the Heat Bonder here. We can always deal the Heat Bonder later. He can just kill the Snare Tactician here. Okay, sure. I guess we're taking 4. There's not much we can do against that. Guess we can drop the Sanctuary Smasher and play defense. Helica Glider can fly. So I might have to shoot down the Zenith Flare. Guess that's fine. Just put a 6-drop here. That can start beating down. Could just shoot his face, to be honest. Guess he has a pump spell and I'm dead. He probably has a pump spell here. I don't know. Divine Arrow. Okay, so still not doing good. Could Rock Slide, but then I guess I'm dead. So I probably need to surprise him with a 2-mana Zenith Flare. Or shoot him in the face with it, or kill the Helica Glider, we'll see. I hate doing this, but I think I have to Zenith Flare this Heat Bonder. Yeah, I guess this is the problem, just not having your payoffs like early in the game. I shouldn't have kept that stupid hand. It was bad. And this deck should really be overperforming. What am I doing? Okay, I'm fine with Marmoset this opening hand. That last hand I shouldn't have really kept. That was really bad. Opponent just curving out like that, killing us. And I might keep this Go for Blood since it can fight something off early. But I'm definitely cycling maybe like the Raking Claws. We'll see. Might just give that flying. Sure, but my Marmoset can fight that off with the Go for Blood, so I'm not really concerned. Even the Shred Sails isn't bad, but we'll leave with the Marmoset. Shred Sails can punish this Helica Glider. If he tries to mutate like the 5-4 or like even a Migratory Great Horn, we can just kill it with the Shred Sails. So I'm down to keeping the Shred Sails and start just cycling with the other stuff. I can even just Go for Blood and fight this off. Keensight Mentor. Okay, so I might Go for Blood here. Could actually just attack first. Guess I could attack, cycle, and Go for Blood the Mentor. Save this Shred Sails for the Helica Glider. He could have like a fight as one. We'll see. How's this gonna work? I think I cycle a 2-mana cycler since it's not that great. It does tap me out, but that's fine. And I think it's fine fighting off the Keensight Mentor since the Shred Sails can answer the Helica Glider. So we'll try that. This is just good for me here. Just get rid of this annoying wall that forces me to cycle attack past it every turn. I'm fine with 2-2 hitting me in the air. Again, Shred Sails can answer it. Heat Bonder, that's annoying. Opponent's counting up to see how much cycling I have for Zenith Flare. Okay. Sure. What can Rooting Moloch get back? I guess a Go for Blood. That's not bad. And I can use to fight off the Heat Bonder. I think I'll try that. Hope he doesn't have a removal spell, but this Go for Blood looks good. I can use this to fight off the Heat Bonder next turn and drop the Spell Eater Wolverine. Removal would be unfortunate if he has like Rumbling Rock Slide. Yadaro's fine, it's going to take him forever to get it. It is quite scary though, since it's an 8-8 haste trample. Another flyer, sure. I guess I don't mind offering to trade if he once I fight off this Heat Bonder. Do I attack? Yeah, I don't mind a trade. Like, it's not the end of the world. I do need to start pressuring him. And the Spell Eater Wolverine can just get across for a ton, so this is okay. Don't think I care about that card. Let's move to attacks. I can even coordinate charge for lethal. But mutates a Porcupine. I don't think that stacks. I don't know what the opponent is thinking here. Coordinate charge is pretty good against his Porcupine next turn. If he decides to block off the Spell Eater Wolverine, for instance. It's a 1-for-1, but I'm still fine with that. Solid Footing, I guess that's fine. Guess I can Shred Sails away to Helica Glider. Sure. Opponent's obviously not going to trade for the Helical Glider, but I'm still going to offer it to him. Let's just say if he does block, it's a free card for me. But if he doesn't, I guess I'm fine using the Shred Sails on the next turn. I might as well do now. I don't know what shenanigans he has here. And that should be lethal. Not going to cycle Zenith Flare to BM. I could. I could cycle the BM. Why not? I mean, I shouldn't be up. Yeah, we'll just use this. I don't care. Okay, Draft Stinger on 2 seems fine, and then we can start cycling these Frostbell ambushes, eventually power up the Spell Eater Wolverine, the Blitz, and it should be okay. We're on the draw. Opponent's playing blue and cycling, maybe Jeskai cycling, okay. Sure. Opponent could have a Fire Prophecy. I still think I play into it, because I do want to get this down as early as possible. I don't want to end of turn Shred Sails. I think that's just not that great. This Draft Stinger is going to be an early threat that the opponent has to deal with, and it's just going to start pinging him. I think I attack first with a Draft Stinger, and if he tries something, I could just cycle. I guess the opponent's just trying to cycle for answers, maybe like a Fire Prophecy. Probably. Okay, that's okay. That's fine. We can follow it with like a Wolverine that can start getting in. And we do have 3 instances in sorcery, so if we cycle them quick enough, we can start giving this double strike. So, opponent's playing blue-red, so it should be very controlling with lots of removal spells. So it's not going to be the most easiest to get our threats across, but hopefully we can connect a couple of times, pick up our Zenith Flare, and get through. Okay, so this is a great turn for us. So let's just cycle our Shred Sails first. I can just cycle all my one-mass cyclers and start getting in there. I think I will, because double strike is very important. I could just Cathartic Reunion, but now let's just cycle. There's a chance we want to discard lands with a Cathartic Reunion. And yeah, we'll just cycle a Frostwell Ambush, get in there for 6. Can always blitz that away. We'll move the tax. Let's see what the opponent does. Maybe try some. I don't know if there's a one-man trick here. Like, guess he's gonna take 6. Guess I can cycle away the memory leak. Do I blitz now? Like, there's nothing he can do here. Let's just blitz. There's no one-man trick, and even if he pumps this by 1 man, this is 4 damage, so it's gonna die. Opponent was planning to go for blood last, but so I could punish him on his turn, but I don't really want him to untap with mana. Cathartic Reunion these 2-mana cyclers, maybe kill our land 6 for Sanctuary Smasher eventually, or dig towards our what's that card? The Zenith Flare. Okay, so opponent has a lot of removal, sure. Guess Coordinated Charge isn't that useful now. I do maybe want to discard lands with the Cathartic Reunion, so I might just throw away a bunch of 2-mana cyclers. So maybe this is just better. Guess I can Reunion now because I do want to hit land 6 eventually. Just dump these 2 away. No lands, wow. But at least we're digging through our deck. So I guess the Cathartic Reunion was the right call. Stinger is fine. Opponent's casting these 3 mana of 1 mines, so here I think it's fine resolving the Marmoset. Next turn we can start pressuring him. Not hitting our land drops. Okay, Omnis Seas, that's going to take him a long time. But with this Facet Reader, it can be quite annoying, but we do have a Pacifism to answer it, plus a couple of Snare Tacticians. He's casting these for 1 mana, so opponent's like in the blue-red cycling deck. That's pretty interesting. So a card like Riel and these Omnis Seas definitely will pay off for him. I guess I can cast a Snare Tactician and tap. Don't think I necessarily need to care too much about. I think I'll attack. I don't think I need to cycle. I think I need to keep the 1-mana cycler in case he answers my Snare Tactician. Because I do want to keep this Thieving Otter from connecting. Because if it does connect, it's going to start drawing cards for him, and then this Omnis Seas will be pretty annoying. And blue-red has a lot of removal, so we have to keep that in mind. Yeah, we'll let that resolve. He's gonna tap down the Snare Tactician. I can cycle the Boon. Then I can use, I guess, the Pacifism on. I guess he's keeping the Marmoset tapped. Okay. Response. I guess I'll cycle the Boon. I think I'm fine attacking the Snare Tactician. If he does decide to double block, I can use the Will of the All Hunter. I can just Rumbling Rock Slide for 4. Maybe use the Will and then cycle a 2-mana cycler if something happens. I think I have to connect with a Snare Tactician. Either way. And I guess we can like cycle Lava Serpent. Yeah, he's going for it. I think I ordered the Facet Reader first, because that's a little bit more scarier to get rid of. Then I can just use this Pump Trick to get across to the Snare Tactician. That's fine. Hopefully he doesn't find like a removal spell. If he gets like, I don't know, Pyrophobia or whatever, that would be pretty annoying. And I wouldn't have any way to get rid of this Archipelago, but this is fine. And I can use a 2-mana Cycler, tap down to 7/7. The Rooting Mala can maybe get back the Lava Serpent, so I think I'm fine cycling away the Lava Serpent. And there's no really any cyclers I want to get back from the graveyard, so it's like how Snare Tactician is just so annoying, being able to tap all their stuff down under combat phase so they can't connect. Is he I guess he's mutating again, sure. I mean, then it's a better target for this Pacifism. I am missing my land drops, so that's pretty bad for me. I want to eventually get to 5 land. Does he have a sacrifice effect? I don't think so. I don't mind taking 2 for my own Snare Tactician. I Guess if I cycle once, that's lethal. We'll see. Guess the opponent just didn't have anything. Okay. Well, we stole that game pretty nicely. So currently 4-2. We should be 4-1, I think, in this draft, since that one game where I kept the Zenith flare just went horribly awry. Okay, hopefully I can get to at least 6 wins. I would be happy with 6 with this deck. I think it's very strong. Only managed to cast Zenith flare that one game and steal it. Snare Tactician is always good. Some 2-mana cyclers. I think this is a fine keep. We can feel up this Blitz. This Pacifism should be a pretty solid removal to play some defense in the early game. So, or in the late game is pretty nice. Might keep Destroyed Sails. White has plenty of flyers, so it might come in handy. Opponent could just be playing the red-white cycling deck. In that case, there's not many flyers, and I can just cycle away Destroyed Sails. Land is good. That's a cycling deck versus cycling deck. The opponent can have his own Zenith Flare. So this game could be close. Prickly Marmoset's good. Could just lock that down. Let's see. So, Pacifism doesn't seem that bad. I could also just cycle and attack. And then Pacifism. Nah, we'll just Pacifism now, get that out of the way. It's a pretty scary card. And end of turn we could just cycle away the Coordinated Charge, we'll see. I could just cycle it on his main phase, I guess. I mean on his pre-combat to prevent 2 damage. That's always fine. Pacifism's really good against this Marmoset because it is quite a scary card. But now I guess we can just cycle away the Snare Tactician, prevent some damage. Ensure that we eventually get to our cards. Blitz can maybe deal with this card, this creature. Pyroceratops, and it's not often that you see a Pyroceratops in these cycling decks. We can eventually cast this for 6, so I don't mind. I think I just cycle once, and then maybe blitz away the Pyroceratops. And then I guess we can cycle main phase against the opponent. Yeah, this blitz looks really good. We'll just blitz away this Pyroceratops. Cycle away the Raking Claws, I guess, against the Zenith Stinger, or I can throw away the 1-mana Cycler. But the Raking Claws is again more efficient to get rid of. Let's see if he cycles here. It depends if he cycles main phase. If he does, then I'm tapping down the Reptilian Reflection for sure. And I guess I'll use a Raking Claws. I don't really want to double strike my Snare Tactician. It's pretty nice for a Sanctuary Smasher, but it is a bit of a gamble. Just getting rid of these 2-mana Cyclers early enough makes this much more efficient. Even a Snare Tactician, that's really nice. 2 of them is pretty powerful. We can just constantly tap down whenever they try to attack, or when we attack. Snare, okay. Yeah, I think I'll cast a Snare Tactician. I'll keep the Zenith Stinger back. I think I'll use the 1-mana Cycler first. Maybe we can play the Zenith Stinger next turn. But I do want to use these Frostfell Ambushes to tap their stuff down when he cycles. If he passes, then I won't cycle, since he's probably going to use it on our turn, and then we can use it in response to him cycling to tap down his Reptilian Reflection. Draft Healer is annoying. That's going to start gaining him some life. Could have like a Go for Blood. Nah, Go for Blood doesn't do anything against his Marmoset. Yeah, I guess that has to resolve. We'll let that happen. Now he has a 3/3 Draft Healer. That's pretty scary. But I guess he's going to play a Draft Stinger. I guess we can cycle this Frostveil Ambush to ensure that we can try to hit our land drop as quickly as possible. I like the Prickly Marmoset on defense. Rumbling Rock Slide isn't bad. Maybe just Rock Slide away the Draft Healer. Maybe that's better, since it's just going to gain him life. And I think I'm fine attacking. Nah, we should keep it back. Yeah, we should keep this back. I do need to keep this back as a blocker. Maybe use a Draft Stinger to cycle if he decides to get in with the Reptilian Reflection. And in this scenario, yes, I do want to cycle away my Draft Stinger. Then Sanctuary Smasher should be pretty nice. I can also just go for blood on a Draft Stinger. That's also pretty powerful. Spell Eater Wolverine, that's scary. Ooh. Wolverine's good, but I guess I have my own Wolverine to combat his Wolverine. I think I'd rather prefer to maybe trade off the Prickly Marmoset for it. The Wolverine's pretty nice. Well, I guess that's too late. I should have considered. But now I guess we can just cast Go for Blood. Or Cycle. Yeah, I think we'll just use Go for Blood here and fight off a 2/2. Guess we'll just trade with the Wolverine since I don't want to take a million damage. The Reptilian Reflection is going to be really annoying though, since he's going to be able to deal a lot more damage than me. I guess the game plan is just to resolve the Sanctuary Smasher and just try to keep it behind as defense against this Reptilian Reflection. We can trade off for the... Okay, that's going to be pretty bad if he has a one-mana cycler. I guess I'm fine attacking with the Spell Eater Wolverine. Do need to pressure him a bit. Trade is good. I'd rather trade. Yeah, trade is very good here. Does he have a trick? Okay, no tricks. Yeah, we'll play the Prickly Marmoset. We can use the Handbrake Snare on defense against this Reptilian Reflection and say go. Swallowhole would have been so great in this deck, just because the Snare Tactician is a nice combo. Yeah, we'll just say go. Do I cycle? Nah, I think I need to keep the cycler on defense. The Sanctuary Smasher is just a really good card here. We can just cast it. Then we can keep the 2-mana cycler for any shenanigans later. This can start connecting as a 6/4 for a strike, which is very scary. Hopefully it doesn't have another Swallowhole or Pacifism. There's a high chance that they do in these weird decks. Opponent seems to have a better red-white deck than us, with cards like Draft Healer, Savai Thundermane, and Swallowhole, but the question is, does he have the Zenith Flare? Rooting Moloch is very nice. I guess if we attack with a Sanctuary Smasher, we can get back. I think we just go for it. We'll see what the opponent does. If not, we can just use the kit back, I don't know, like maybe Raking Claws or Draft Stinger. But Draft Stinger will just die to Savai Thundermane, so I think we just allow the opponent to take 6 here. Then we can cast this Rooting Moloch. That can hold off this Reptilian Reflection, keep everything back. Um, I guess the coordinate charge isn't bad, but go for blood could be better because it can allow me to fight off this Savai Thunder main next turn. Opponent has 2 Thunder main, so if he has a single cycler, he can kill my Rooting Moloch. Well, this is scary. Maybe I actually use Go for Blood on a Prickly Marmoset here. We'll just use Go for Blood, maybe main phase. See what the opponent does. Alright, we'll see if he has a 1-mana cycler. I mean, I guess he can only ping me once with the Savai Thunder main if he has a 1-mana cycler. Okay, he does. I guess he can ping it once, and then I guess he gains 4, so that's pretty annoying, so... Still trades. Do I attack with the Sanctuary Smasher? I do have double strike. Huh. I think I do. I could also just cycle with this Hampering Snare, tap the Reptilian Reflection down, and try to get in. Yeah, we'll risk it here. We'll try to go for it. And then we'll attack with both. And if he doesn't block the Sanctuary Smasher, he's officially dead, since the Raking Claws will just, guess I can send in everything. Yeah, let's send in everything here. That's a good chump block, otherwise he would be dead. Yeah, we'll just go for this. I don't think he can kill me here. He could have Zenith Flare. Like, if he has a 1-mana cycler and Zenith Flare, then I'm dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I don't think that's enough cyclers. Okay, that's a good sign. And I guess we can Zenith Flare him next turn and attack with all. So I guess we stole this game. That's going to be 10 damage if he decides to cycle, but he's probably going to keep that on defense. I think we'll attack here, and if he tries something, we'll just cycle the Raking Claws. And I can still Zenith Flare for 10, so... Okay, in response, I guess now we can just Zenith Flare the opponent. Huh. Yeah, that card is so dumb. Zenith Flare is a dumb card. Okay, so 5 and 2. Maybe we can get the 7. Like, that last game was very close. The opponent seems to have a stronger deck than us. If it wasn't for our Zenith Flare stealing that victory, I think it would have been a pretty boring board stall. I guess the opponent can maybe, like, double chump or double block the 6-4. But here we're currently 5 and 2. So maybe we can get to 6, and this can be a decent video for me to upload. Here, this is another one of those weird hands. I guess I have Cathartic Reunion. We can cycle stuff away, dig deeper to our deck. We're on the draw. It's close, but if we can get a turn 3 play, this can be pretty nice. I think I'll cycle to Go for Blood, turn 1. Opponent could also just be in a cycling deck with that turn 1 cycle. We can get back with Rooting Moloch to maybe fight something later. Draft Stinger. Fun. Right, no Draft Stinger. That's good. But This implies maybe the opponent has a Zenith Flare. So another cycling deck, another day. So I guess the only thing that can defeat a cycling deck is another cycling deck. So here I could actually Cathartic Reunion. It's actually not that bad because we do need to hit our land drops, and then we can discard against the 2-mana cyclers. I think I'll just do it now. Don't really need to cycle. Hampering Snare can go. Maybe Shred Sails, since I don't care too much about flyers. I need these 1-mana cyclers. And yeah, I guess that lets me dig pretty deep in my deck to hit my land drops essentially. But now we're just still getting mana screwed even with the Cathartic Reunion, so I'm glad I actually used it. The opponent seems to be missing out on lands too. He finally get his white source. Flourishing Fox, I guess we can blitz that away eventually. I still think we drop the Draft Stinger, or we can just use it now. We'll just play the Draft Stinger. We can always do it next turn. It's close. Just do it now, I guess. This card's pretty scary. Valiant Rescuer, this card's also scary. I guess Pacifism doesn't answer it really well, but I guess my Draft Stinger can maybe serve as a decent blocker against his 1/1s. But if he does have removal, then I'm screwed. Is there any way for me to deal with this? I guess the Rooting Mala can go for blood against it. Probably has a bunch of cyclers to make a bunch of 1/1s. I think I'm fine with the trade. He could have a trick. I think I still go for it. Like, Divine Arrow would be pretty annoying, but I still think I'd go for it. I mean, a trade is a trade. He could be bluffing, but this is a pretty insane Raking Claws. Okay, we'll cycle a Starling Development away. Pacifism is not a good answer to this Valiant Rescuer, but don't want to really take 3. But he can just go off by making a bunch of 1/1s now. White mana is good. I guess I can cycle this Raking Claws now. Do I pacify the 3/1? It's really bad. But do I really want to go down to 5? I guess I can Rooting Moloch and eventually fight it, so I think I'll just take the 5 here, cycle away the Will end of turn, and then cast a Rooting Moloch to get back the Go for Blood to essentially maybe fight off this Valiant Rescuer. This Valiant Rescuer is just so insane. This card is just crazy. Ikoria charged me and hit me for 1,000,000 here. Jeez. Wow. This is hard. This is going to be a difficult matchup. Even for being Friendship in his deck. Wow. This is a lot of damage. Yeah, this card is just so fantastic in the red-white cycling deck. Tactician isn't going to do it. I think we have to Moloch here. Just to get back to Go for Blood to deal with this 3/1. In the meantime, he can just go very wide and like kill me with a Zenith Flare, essentially. So we're not in good shape. Opponent just seems to have a better red-white cycling deck than us. Valiant Rescuer, wow. I might even take this card over like Blood Curdle, pack 1, pick 1. And essentially you can just close out the game like with Charge or like, I don't know, Zenith Flare. Is he going to go all in here? Guess he's leaving the Valiant Rescuer back. But at least I can still take 4 and block 1. Definitely blocking here. Could have a removal spell since he wanted to deal 1 damage here. Maybe like a Blitz. Wolverine. Okay, I guess I can deal with Wolverine. But now it's good. I can use Go for Blood. Fight off the Valiant Rescuer. Use the Pacifism on the... I guess I don't need to use Pacifism. The Snare Tactician can work. I can play Snare Tactician, play the Plains, and then cycle away the Boon at instant speed to prevent the Spell Eater Wolverine from attacking. I think I'll just do it now. Then we can pacify later. If he has Zenith Flare, this guy has the ultimate red-white cycling deck. Could have Coordinate Charge here. Yeah, we have to block here. Coordinate Charge would be bad, but we have to block. Coordinate Charge is basically game over. I guess it just implies Zenith Flare since he's just trying to get as much damage in as much as possible. Could just cast a Sanctuary Smasher. I don't mind a Sanctuary Smasher, but still doesn't. It still trades for the Spell Eater Wolverine. Yeah, we'll cast it here. I guess I can still leave up 1 mana to cycle. I think I have to attack with a Moloch, maybe keep the Snare Tactician back. But these 1/1 chump blockers are pretty stupid. Does he have the Zenith Flare? Okay, I guess that's tapped anyways, so we'll let that resolve. Guess I still cycle here just to prevent 1 damage, essentially. Rumbling Rock Slide isn't a bad trick. I think I have to get in there for 6, and maybe just take a bunch of 1/1 pings, because I do need to eventually close out this game. Keep land in hand. I did use my Cathartic Reunion already early in the game, so I think I can just play on my lands. Keep everything back. Zenith Flare is basically game over here. I guess if I have my own Zenith Flare, that can be fine. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, sure. Well, that's kind of annoying, but I guess my 6/6 can start swinging still. Fine with the chump. Do I pacify a 1/1? Not really. I think we'll just pass. I guess I can pacify this Wolverine. Fine taking 2. Again, I do need to pressure the opponent. Opponent might be scared of a Raking Claws here. Alright, so we're catching up. Hopefully the opponent just doesn't get a Zenith Flare and steal the game from us. We'll just keep lands in hand to represent something. But kind of flooding here. Would be better if we pick up more Cyclers. Okay, so yeah. Rooting Moloch. What can this get back? I guess the Will, the Valiant Rescuer. He could just get back Raking Claws. So I do need to keep stuff behind on defense, essentially. Valiant Rescuer. I don't mind the Valiant Rescuer. It is going to make a bunch of 1/1s. I guess if I find a Cycler, I can still like attack with the Sanctuary Smasher. But I guess now we have to stay back in this scenario. Spell Eater Wolverine has double strike, but I don't really want to use it on an attack with it against a Rooting Moloch, so I think we'll just say go here. Whoever gets a Zenith Flare basically wins this matchup. Alright, so, this is scary. I could just go for it and trade off for the Rooting Moloch. Yeah, I mean, he can make 1-mana Cyclers at instant speed, so I don't really care. I think we have 1 more land in the deck and we should be good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I should be dead if the opponent has Zenith Flare. It's quite unfortunate. Okay, that's fine. He just makes a 1-1. So it's good not to attack the Smasher, because essentially he could just make a bunch of chump blockers at the end of the day. So I do need to, like, play it safe, in a sense. Right, Zenith Flare. Zenith Flare. Gets its fine attacking with the Smasher. Think I have to go for it. I can use Zenith Flare in response to his Zenith Flare, so if he tries something, it can be fine. And I guess I trade with this Spell Eater Wolverine against Rooting Moloch. Sure. Or I can Zenith Flare his Rooting Moloch in response. Or I can Zenith Flare his face. Marmoset, okay. I guess I can trade for the Sanctuary Smasher, so it's no longer that good. Do I want to Zenith Flare the Rooting Moloch? That's a good question. Could actually just take it here, Zenith Flare to face. Or block. Because I don't see the Sanctuary Smasher going through in this matchup. But again, I do need to get rid of this 4-4. Do I just shoot the Valiant Rescuer instead? That might actually be the right play. Shoot down the Valiant Rescuer. Yeah, let's get rid of Valiant Rescuer then. Do we block? Probably not. And I guess we can attack here. I could just cycle away the Coordinate Charge. That's not bad. Could maybe cast it, but now I guess I can use a Will on defense with the Snare Tactician. The opponent's just going to take it? Okay, so that's 6. Yeah, I think I just go for it here. I mean, otherwise I'm not going to win. Wow, this was a close game. That Will off the top really... And the opponent not blocking the Wolverine, I think was a huge mistake. I think he should have at least used a 1-1 to block the 4-4, the double striker. Wow, I didn't expect to win that one. I think the opponent was supposed to win that game. So yeah, currently 6-2. Reverse sweep, I guess. I went 2-1, and now it's 6-2. That's quite I'm quite happy with that result. So let's add this deck to our dumb collection, and I guess we still have a game to play before we can go over this deck again. So, all right, final boss. Let's get to 7 wins and show off the power of this dumb deck. I think Zenith Flame the Valiant Rescuer was kind of like a desperate attempt. I think I need to do that just to prevent the 1-1s from constantly being created. I don't know, maybe I should Zenith Flare to face. That might have been better, but the opponent not blocking there was essentially a win for me. I think the opponent didn't expect a Will of the All Hunter in my hand. But very close matchups. I think if the opponent was more careful, I think he would have won that easily. He had a really powerful red-white cycling deck. Maybe without Zenith Flare, but it was still very strong. And maybe shooting the face was correct. Since, I mean, that got him down to 5 and he's forced to just play defense the whole game. Draft Stinger on 2, Spell Eater Wolverine on 3, a 1-mana Cycler, Blitz. I think this is an okay keep on the draw, so that's fine. Oh man, it's always a brushwag. Do I just cycle away the Starling development? I might just do that. Could just play out the Draft Stinger. But this does feel the Blitz. I think I'll cycle the Starling development. So I can at least have like a Blitz up for one. Maybe on turn 4 if he decides to attack, I can block the Brushwag and then use the Will and then use the Blitz on it. So I could just develop the Spell Eater Wolverine. Maybe that's even better. Yeah, we'll just do that. Do I offer to trade? I don't mind offering to trade. The damage does add up. And this can chump block pretty... This can be pretty annoying chump block. I think I'll attack, and I can even get back with a Rooting Moloch. So 2 is fine. Not blocking the Almighty Brushwag if he attacks with it, because that can he can pump essentially past it. So I'll let the damage happen, and I can start attacking with this Double Striker maybe next turn. Guess I'll try to attack with both, and if he blocks, I can Blitz. He could also be holding up something else, but this is a good turn to attack, so I think I will. I'm fine if he wants to block with the Brushwag here. Okay, so he's going to go for it. I'm going to use Blitz at instant speed here, so we'll let damage happen. So he's using up his whole entire turn to do this, so we can punish him with a 1-mana Blitz. And then we can even cycle away the Hampering Snare. Do I care about Double Strike though? Not really, but maybe I can represent 2 mana. It's not going to do much except pinging once because this doesn't trample or anything. So this is good. I can always just cycle Will and get back, but it's better. I don't really want to cast this. It's not really that great of a card. Opponent's attacking with Fertilid. I don't agree with that since this can chump the 3-2 and be used twice to get his lands. I guess he can only use it once with a single green. But okay, sure, I'm fine cycling this Hampering Snare end of turn. One could have like an ambush trick, but I do have Will to maybe deal with the threat. Even Raking Claws. I think I just go for it here, I just attack and see what the opponent does. Nothing to get back as a 2-mana cycler, so I could just Blood Curdle. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Do I want to double strike here? No, it's gonna die. I think I want to cycle instead of playing out the Rooting Moloch. So we'll cycle the Raking Claws and see what happens. I could maybe cycle the Will since I'm not looking to block anyways. Don't want to use the Rumbling Rock Slide, so we'll cycle the Will. And then maybe we can use Rooting Moloch to get value by getting these cards back, but unfortunately, this card has to die. Don't care if this has Menace, he needs to activate eventually. Opponent's going to take 2, he didn't order blocks yet, so... Now this Rumbling Rock Slide can deal with something larger. I guess I can attack with the Draft Stinger. If he offers a trade, I can just cast a Rooting Moloch to get back. Because, like, I can get back to Raking Claws. Will seems pretty bad unless I'm being aggressive. So we'll see what the opponent does. If he has removal for Draft Stinger, I'm actually quite happy about that. If he plays something large, I can Rumbling Rock Slide and get in for 2. Well, I can always just cycle first. We'll do that. Since we have enough to cast Rooting Moloch if it dies, if Draft Stinger still dies, we'll both attacks. Well, just takes it and guess we cast a Moloch. I mean, it's just still 4/4. Yeah, I guess I'll cast it. Like, it's still 4/4 body. It still represents a threat. The opponent still needs to get rid of it. His board's not really good against what we currently have. And I think we'll take the Will of the Raking Claws. And this is cast, so we can't really cycle away the 1-mana cyclers we get back. So Raking Claws can definitely represent something really scary if the opponent doesn't block next turn. So he's forced to chump with the Facet Reader if he doesn't find anything next turn, since I do have like the Rumbling Rock Slide. And this Raking Claws with the Rooting Moloch is essentially lethal. He can obviously chump with the Fertile Lid and activate it, so... Paul doesn't seem to be playing anything too scary. He's playing a Sultai colors, but nothing scary, big green and scary yet. Like, I usually expect like Bone Lurkers, like Humble Naturalist, some Parcel Beast, and potentially, I don't know. And even main phase is the Fertile Lid, what's going on. So this is an easy last boss. I think we kind of, but the Extinction Event, but that can only deal with the Rooting Moloch, which I'm fine. I'm fine if he does that. I'm going to cast Raking Claws next turn and get in for 2. We can always cycle the Frostfell Ambush first, of course, to see what we pick up. I shouldn't have done that. But I can still cycle and use Raking Claw, so I'm fine with that. We'll just cycle away this Frostfell Ambush. Essentially tap down the Facet Reader and get in there for 5 this turn. He can activate the Facet Reader in response, I don't care. And then we can use Raking Claws on the Draenei Stinger again for value, so... We're getting there, definitely, but we are getting flooded. Keep land in hand in case he has the 4-mana card that makes me discard the 5-mana. I forgot what that card is called, the... Ooh, Gyruda? Well, that's scary. Don't take away my Zenith Flare, please. Ooh, he got a bunch of lands, so I'm quite happy with that result. He can get back none of these. Wow, we got really lucky. He could have a Ram through here to deal with my Draenei Stinger. But yeah, he was pretty unlucky. These are all a bunch of odd cost cards. He got 2 lands off the top, so I'm happy about that. The Cyclers, however, I do want, since... Okay, so he probably has Ram through at instant speed here. I think I'm just going to cast a Rumbling Rock Slide, play out the Marmoset. This should be enough to kill Gyruda. He can Ram through my Snare Tactician, I don't care. He's forced to chump block with a Facet Reader this turn. Hope he doesn't have another Extinction Event. That is a rare, so it's not something you have multiple copies of. So I think I'm still fine playing out the Marmoset. Yeah, the opponent's just not playing anything scary besides a Gyruda. And he had a bunch of odd cost cards in this deck too, so that didn't really fit the theme too well. So if the opponent doesn't deal with this board, he's essentially dead. He needs to put up some big blockers, some life gain, potentially. And a single Cycler is just so amazing off the top, since I can tap and just ping and get him for 4. So yeah, not a very inspiring final boss, but we did play some pretty difficult opponents, some very clutch matchups, and I don't think we should have been 7-2, since one of the matches I think we could have clearly lost. I think it was game 6 or 5, I forgot. But yeah, nice reverse sweep. Went 1-2, and then we got to 7 wins. Didn't cast too much Zenith Flare. I think we casted 3 times this whole entire game, but it does show you the power level of this type of deck and what it can accomplish. So how do we draft this? Basically a low land count, maybe 11, 12, or 13 lands. In this case, we took 13 lands because we were main decking a Cathartic Reunion. I think one Cathartic Reunion is always pretty nice in these types of decks, since even discarding the 2-mana Cyclers essentially is pretty fine, since you can dig for cards like Zenith Flare. So Zenith Flare, basically the bomb of this entire set. Sometimes it might take Vivian over it still, but it's close in power level to the Vivian's Planeswalker, from my experience, since you can usually get up to 10 and kill the opponent. But what's going on here? Let's put this back. There's always that dumb glitch where the card's floating around, but overall, how do we draft this? Basically, essentially a bunch of one-mana cyclers. We'll put them on a pile to do an overview of this dumb deck. One-mana cyclers, two-mana on-color cyclers are always pretty decent in the cycling deck as well. What is going on? They need to fix this stupid bug. Guess there was a Will of the All Hunter. Oh, never mind. I just claimed the prize. Whatever. You guys seen through this entire draft, so you should have a clue of what to do. I mean, I guess it's saved to my deck list, so we can go to my deck list. But overall, let's just open our packs here. Come on, stupid loading screen. Pack one, pick one. Let's pretend this is a draft, but with least less cards. Gyruda would be the pack one, pick one. The companions just get nerfed, but it's fine still main decking this. This like a 6-mana 6/6 is a very good body, and it can essentially gain you some value. And this is actually one of the companions I actually don't mind still trying to companion, even with the nerf, since on turn 5 you can play a 2-drop and pay 3 mana to get this into your hand, or on turn 3 you can just pay 3 mana to get this into your hand. Overall, the companion nerf was hit pretty hard, but this is by far the best pack one, pick one. Other good cards include like Rooting Moloch and the Migratory Greathorn. As you can see, the Rooting Moloch is really good, the cycling deck, but I don't like it outside of it since it's not great anywhere else. But it would probably be like Gyruda, then Migratory Greathorn, and then Rooting Moloch. Since you don't really need a Rooting Moloch in the cycling deck, it's still a nice addition, but I think the Migratory Greathorn just offers us a lot more. And this is a set about archetypes, not color, from my experience. They say green is the worst color, but I still think it's very good in the right archetype. I think it's an easy shovel here. Just a powerful card, like a 2-mana 1/3 Death Touch. Even though it's multicolor, it's still decent in the set with a lot of mana fixing. And just like turning all your removal spells into a cantrip is solid, but it has to destroy. So best with Blood Curdles and maybe like Easy Praise or like the Dead Weights. But overall, Shovel. Polywalk Symbiote's pretty good too, but I wouldn't take it over Shovel. And the and here we have Kahira. I like this card, but not as a companion. I think it's too difficult, and I don't think the payoff is worth it. But with the companion nerf, it's not really good. I think pack one, pick one, it would be between Enforcer and Draft Stinger. Probably the Enforcer. Enforcer is a good card, but it is for the black-white deck. Draft Stinger is better in a cycling deck. I don't really like it in the red-blue spells deck all that often, so I think it's an easy General's Enforcer. But let's go through this cycling deck here to kind of get a gist of it. If you guys are still watching, trying to learn how to do this. So low land count, 11, 12, 13 lands usually. It depends on how many cyclers you have. They say the rules for every 1-mana cycler, you cut a land. But usually, generally, I just try to fit in as many cyclers as possible, and I just play a low land count. Why does this always happen? Like, they need to fix this stupid bug. Like, come on, this is dumb. I hope this bug doesn't come up again. I guess we saved this deck already twice, so... Okay, so essentially, please don't glitch. 2-mana cyclers, 2-mana cyclers, 1-mana cyclers. I don't think Draft Stinger. I think I'm more likely to cast Draft Stinger, but it's still a 1-mana cycler in the late game, so... Yep, and the glitch happened, so screw it. Anyways, if you've seen this draft, you pretty much know what to do with the cycling deck. This is so dumb. They need to fix this dumb software program. Okay, yeah, other than that, I'm just going to upload this video, and hopefully some of you who are watching can draft this broken deck, and it goes to show how Ikoria is not fun if there was Zenith Flare. If there was a Zenith Flare, this would have been a really fun draft format, but unfortunately the card just ruins it, since it can just steal games. So anyways, in the meantime, have a great day. Take care. Bye.